Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're going to test silencers and how they relate to accuracy and test the validity to the fact if there's anything to be gained by using subsonic ammunition. I've chosen 9mm and 45 especially because some people claim it works better when silenced because the round is already subsonic. I've done my best to assemble like-for-like ammunition as much as I could for the two calibers, and I do have some various types, including normal speed, and we're going to try to keep an eye on the decibel meter and do a little bit of a fair test for accuracy. And while we go along, I'll try to remember to call out the speeds we're obtaining off the chronograph. So it's a little bit of an unscientific demonstration, but I think you're going to see whether or not, first of all, silencers are good for you, and we'll talk about that as we go along, and some of the legalities of actually having one. So what we're going to do is start with the unsilenced weapons, shoot them through all of the various ammo types, once again to verify whether there's any noise reduction at all when you don't use a can with subsonic ammo, and then what happens when you do. So let me get my hearing and we'll get started. So we're going to begin with the 9mm Canik Elite Combat. I'm going to put some normal speed S&B in it, and then some StelTH from Ammo Incorporated, S&B Tactical, which is also supposed to be subsonic, and 158 grain subsonic line from PPU. So sort of in reverse order, we'll fire a couple with the PPU and sort of go down to normal speed, watching the sound as we go. Subsonic line from PPU. .928. Now we're going to move on to the S&B Tactical. 1018. Now Ammo Incorporated StelTH. 792. And now the normal speed S&B. 1253. So you'll notice my shots are nowhere close to the bullseye because I don't want to tweak the gun. I'm really not here for that. I will be able to tell if there's any significant change in the point of impact related to putting a silencer on the gun, which we are actually about to do right now. So what I have is a silencer from Griffin Armaments. The firearm is a Canik TP9 Elite Combat, and I'm using a Vortex Venom Red Dot Sight on the gun. As we mentioned, I haven't tuned the optic, but I will be able to tell there's a significant change in the point of impact related to putting the silencer on. So I'm not going to game the drill. I'm going to hold the dot on the X, and the result will be the result. I have loaded the mag in the same order that we used it in before without the silencer, so let's see what happens. Hopefully the chrono will continue to read and everything will be slick. 946. That was subsonic from PPU. Now we have the S&B Tactical. 993. This would be Ammo Inc. StelTH. 793. And then the normal speed S&B, significantly louder, at least to my ears. 1223 on that one. Achieve slide lock. And now we're going to go check some targets. You can tell using the silencer doesn't necessarily affect accuracy, but it does seem to change where the bullet actually impacts, which makes sense because there was a significant reduction in speed. Even though we're working at roughly the 8 to 10 yard mark, you can tell this was where we started off non-silencer, and as we silenced the ammunition, it started to come farther and farther down. Obviously, a more scientific test would be to bag or put the gun in a vise, but for my money, it does change, but it doesn't change accuracy related to consistency. Just changes the point of impact of your round. And to my ears, right now, we'd have to go and dissect the film, a significant reduction in sound with the silencer across all ammo types. So We're going to switch to the 45 and see if that holds true for that caliber. So for the 45 caliber demonstration, I'm using the FN45 Tactical with an Eotech Red Dot Sight. Once again, we're going to sort of do this without a silencer and then with. This will be first out of the magazine, Remington Subsonic. .824, and now we're going to go on to the Ammo Incorporated Stealth. 919, wow, does that have a kick. And then now normal speed S&B. 830. So, before I put the silencer on the FN, the Subsonic Stealth from Ammo Incorporated is substantially faster than the normal speed S&B. Kind of odd. And I can tell you from operating the gun, it has a ton more recoil. So we'll see what the decibel meter tells us, but so far I'm not a fan of the Ammo Incorporated Stealth 45. Huge fan of it in 9mm though. Not sure what the problem is, or maybe the word isn't problem, what the issue is, but interesting so far. Okay, so same order as before, Remington Subsonic. Hopefully we can get some chrono readings and our accuracy doesn't suffer. So speed was 839. It radically affected the accuracy of the gun. Now the impact is low right, almost like a trigger jerk. I did my time, took them best I could, and you can tell they're close enough. It's probably not a trigger jerk. It's actually where the ammo changes, and I'm going to go right back to the X for Ammo Incorporated. 930, good consistency out of the ammo, but it does look like that my low right impacts are getting larger, so we'll have to verify that with the camera. And now we're back to regular speed S&B. So, slide lock. I'm going to go down and check some holes. So, the last speed was 811. You'll notice this was pretty much the result when the silencer was attached. Close groupings, one little flyer that might be me, but you can see it definitely changed the trend of the impact point. Now what that would say to me is silencer really doesn't affect accuracy, it affects consistency. So you'll have to tune your optic to the silencer if you intend to use it full time. So kind of an interesting demonstration. Some of the ammo from Ammo Incorporated I didn't care for in 45. It's very recoil driven and fast. I'm hoping that the decibel meter will reflect that it's a lot noisier as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this sort of unscientific demonstration of silencers and realistically how they work. Before we go on, I would like to sort of warn everybody that's on the fence about a silencer that this is in fact not something that you should enter into lightly. It is a ATF controlled item. You can fill out the paperwork and obtain the proper stamp, of course, for a couple of $100s. But you have to bear in mind that there are a lot of restraints and constrictions that come with actually having a silencer in your home. The person who has applied for the stamp and is granted permission to have it is the only one that should have access to it. I don't have enough time to talk about the legalities of having a silencer, but before you sort of wade out into that pool, you must become educated about what it all means. The responsibility is yours, not the government's or law enforcement's, and you can find yourself very quickly running afoul of the law. Now, back to the practicalities of how they actually work. From the shooter's point of view, I'm either the best or the worst person to do this demonstration because I'm not a big fan of silencers. And the reason has always been, I don't think that they silence anything. It's more like noise reduction. And I think that's where the term suppression came from, or suppressors. I don't really see what the big hubbub is about, but like I said, that's a personal point of view. What we'd like to do is get some scientific data on the board and see how much it actually does cut the noise down. We're going to post the speeds from the test right here. One of the other things I don't like about suppressors is how much it changes the point of impact of the weapon system, regardless of who makes it. That to me seems to lend itself to the idea that once the can is put on the firearm, it becomes a single-use item, unless you have a private range to go tune and detune, so to speak, what you're doing with that particular firearm. It really doesn't have a lot of practical use to me. At any distance at all, as you can tell, you're going to be way off the target. We chose 2 different calibers for today's demonstration, and as it turned out, that ended up being a good thing. In the 9mm demonstration, the S&B normal speed 9mm was absolutely a loud audible crack as compared to its subsonic counterparts. Flip to 45, which is already subsonic, I did not notice a significant noise reduction regardless of whether it was subsonic or normal speed. So keep that in mind. If you're a 45 ACP guy and you're using a lot of suppressors with subsonic ammunition, I think you might want to investigate whether that's actually worth your time and effort. So I hope you guys enjoyed the data tables. This was really a lot of fun for me. I'd like to thank all the friends of the channel that make all of this possible. And once again, be safe, keep training, and we'll see you next time.